Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So today we are reading from Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's Madhya Lila, the middle pastimes. Madhya means in the middle. Chapter 6, verses 243 and to 244. And we're going to read verse 243, and then the next verse has a purport. My Bengali is not so great, so I'll do my best. Eshlokera arta shunaila karya vistar. Shuni Bhattacharya Mane Haila Chamatkar. Eshlokera arta shunaila karya vistar. Shuni Bhattacharya Mane Haila Chamatkar.
Eshlokera arta shunaila karya vistar. Shuni Bhattacharya Mane Haila Chamatkar. Eshlokera arta shunaila karya vistar. Shuni Bhattacharya Mane Haila Chamatkar.
Vaishnavis?
Eshlokera arta shunaila karya vistar. Shuni Bhattacharya Mane Haila Chamatkar.
We're going to read the next verse also. Gopinathacharya bole ami purve ye kahila. Shuni Bhattacharya tomare seita haila. So translation of this verse. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very elaborately explained the Harinama verse of the Brihat Naradiya Puran, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was struck with wonder to hear his explanation. Next verse. Gopinathacharya reminded Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, "My dear Bhattacharya, what I foretold to you has now taken place." Does somebody remember what Gopinathacharya foretold and now it's taking place? It's in the purport, but I just want to see.
He got his mercy and then he realized he was Krishna.
Yeah, Gopinathacharya explained, once you get his mercy, then you will understand who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Purport. Previously, Gopinathacharya had informed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya that when he would be blessed by the Lord, he would thoroughly understand the transcendental process of devotional service. This prediction was now fulfilled. The Bhattacharya was fully converted to the cult of Vaishnavism, and he was following the principles automatically, without being pressured. In the Bhagavad Gita 240, it is therefore said, Svalpam api dharmasya prayate mahato payat. Simply by performing a little devotional service, one can escape from greatest danger. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had been in the greatest danger because he had adhered to the Mayavad philosophy. Somehow or other, he came into contact with Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and became a perfect devotee. In this way, he was saved from the great fall down of impersonalism. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Radhadesh in the temple, and there, I guess like here, you have many visiting preachers coming. And then you would have section of Bhagavatam, and then because preachers were coming in, they didn't hear the previous class. And then what the preacher would do, they would always summarize what was happening before. And I was in the class, okay, I heard this already. There's a tendency when you come, and then you always summarize what was happening before. I'll just do a little bit this briefly. So what is happening now? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming to Puri. He's a young sannyasi. He just took sannyas. He's like 24 years old. He's coming to Puri. He comes to the temple, sees Lord Jagannath, and faints. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was a grihasta, but actually he took Kshetra sannyas. He was living in Puri. He took a vow never to leave Puri. So he was there, and he was in the temple. He saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there fainting, and he immediately saw, this is something special, this is extraordinary. And he checked him out, okay, and then he said to his servants, take him to my house. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his senses, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya started to converse, to speak with him. First he asked him about his name. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, my name is Sri Krishna Chaitanya. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was amazed because that was sannyasi. Sannyasi is a top, like in ISKCON we have sannyasi is a top position in a way of authority, of spiritual advancement. And he introduced himself by his brahmachari name, because Krishna Chaitanya is actually a brahmachari name. It's not a sannyasi, full sannyasi name. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya thought, oh, this sannyasi is very humble. And then he asked him, of what line of sannyasis you've been initiated? Who was your sannyas guru? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, who was sannyasi's guru? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Keshav Bharati. And then by the title Bharati, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya understood, it's not such a good order of sannyas, you know. Saraswati, that's the topmost. I will initiate you into Saraswati, in the highest order of sannyas. I find it very interesting how Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya explained this. He said, because he was a grihasta, and then he offered a sannyas initiation to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the higher order. So that was an interesting fact there. And Gopinath Acharya said, there's no need for him this. He's a Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's not depending on this external higher and lower. And then Sarvabhauma said, no, it cannot be. How is it possible? He's not Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Gopinath Acharya then said, like we hear in this verse, then he foretold, when you get his mercy, when you get Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, then you will understand who he actually is. And this is what is happening here now. My dear Bhattacharya, what I foretold to you has now taken place. But when I was reading this whole section of the Madhya Lila, it's like whole 200 and something verses, it was really amazing for me to see the respect that both Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya had with each other. It's really amazing. You have to take into consideration that at that point Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was very, very old. I read somewhere that he was around 80. And he was a very respected scholar. Very respected scholar. He studied, there's two different accounts. He studied what is called Navya Nyaya. Nyaya is one of the 6 philosophical systems of India. And Navya means new logic. This school started in North India, in Mithila, in Bihar. And they were so exclusive in this city, they didn't allow foreign students to come there and take the knowledge outside, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was from Bengal. And he studied there. Apparently, he memorized everything, came back to Navadvip, started his own school. And then he was invited by Maharaj Prataparudra to come to Puri. And he was a respected teacher. Respected. He was teaching sannyasis Vedanta. He was teaching to the sannyasi. He had this very high position of authority.